Good morning and welcome to Presence of Light with Charlie Riverman Bergeron. I'm going to set my little jewelry here in place. I want my toroidal field a little higher. I want it over my high heart. And there it is. There it is to shine brightly and honor each of you with its presence of energies. Thank you for all of you who are going to show up if you do. And hopefully it says I'm live, so I'm going to assume that I am. It's been a very high energy morning, and today's topic is it's a new day. And it comes about in a way that I hardly expected. It was amazing as we begin our days. We never really know what they're going to be like unless, when we arise, we're in a state of depression or a state of anxiety or some emotional imbalance right out of bed. And this morning I had none of that. I was basically at peace, and I wish each one of you wake up in a state of peace. But the message and the feeling of it being a new day was strange. And as I got on my computer, I've been going through this process of rearranging my life and my purpose. My purpose is the same. It's to anchor peace, light, and love into all living forms. But how I'm going to do that is changing, and feeling called to do different things like write a book and other things. And so I'm in this state of reorganizing my life, and I can assume that each of you are feeling somewhat the same, that this coronavirus that we're experiencing has really made us to deep dive into our lives and who we are, and try to figure out where do we fit anymore? When we come out of this moment in time we call living, and back into our sort of role playing as humans, what is that really going to look like? Do the sort of old shoes fit anymore is what's coming through. And many of us are going to be taking on new responsibilities, maybe looking at different careers, maybe looking at different relationships, maybe ending relationships, creating new ones. The possibilities for us as humans to be in a new day is phenomenal. It's as big as the universe. And so as I awoke, I was cleaning out my hard drives, and with all information I've carried for years and years. And I woke up with this message of, let's just put it aside and start new. And immediately the fear came in. Well, I might need this and I might need that. I said, no. This is new. It's there. It's in the hard drive. It's in the storage bin. It's in the memory. And if I need it, I can go get it. Let go, Charlie. Let go, and think of every day that you wake up now as a new day and a new opportunity to embrace life uniquely as your true self. And that's what's coming through me right now. Good morning to you all. Singing bowls, yes, they sing, but they don't sing by themselves. We have to encourage them physically to sing. So bless you, Lynn, for noticing. I'm going to do the singing today with my voice. So this new day was amazing because it dawned on me as I was doing this, I forgot that I do this talk show on Friday mornings. And it was, oh, I gotta prepare for my show. So I I go to my favorite deck of cards, the Sacred Space meditation cards, and lo and behold, here is this beautiful spiral galaxy with arms pointing in opposite directions, okay, which is a little bit unusual for most galaxies. But as it explains it, it says that its two outer arms are lopsided, meaning that something disturbed it. And I think that's what happened to me this morning. Something disturbed me. And it wasn't a disturbance in the way of a negative disturbance. It was something disturbed me to say, do it now. This is a new day. Do it now. Take the opportunity to embrace the rest of your life right now in this moment as a multidimensional being and go for it. What do you have to lose? So the message of the New Day card is, I leave behind the pain of the past. I create my new day full of wondrous things. Isn't that where we all are? Truly, we are in this place where no matter what age we are, no matter what we've experienced in life, we have this collective memory here. This is the hard drive, and we have all of this stuff in there, and it needs to be purged and cleaned out. And it was just what I was doing on the computer, analogous to what I'm experiencing right now, is the fact that we all have to get rid of all the thoughts, all the ideas, all the pains, all the sufferings that keep us from embracing that new day. So it's amazing how synchronicity works in ways that when we are ready to make a change, the messages will appear in front of us. Part of the issue for us is that we get thrilled when we see the synchronicities, but many times we don't respond to them. And I always love to tell people that synchronicity is a language. It's not just two moments colliding in time by accident. Synchronicity is a language. It's a language from our higher selves and people and beings that are in connection with our higher selves, showing us, saying, boom, here it is. Here's the magic. This is what happens. The connection is made. Do something with that. So they're moments of inspiration. If we look at the synchronicities in our lives as an opportunity to shift and change. Now, how you respond to that is obviously your choice. But all synchronicities are basically the universe speaking to us in ways that are energetic rather than in words and actions. And this is the language of the universe. There is no code for it. There is no school where we're going to learn this. We already know this because we're already universal beings. We live here on planet Earth, but we're part of the universe. We are universal beings, and therefore everything can communicate with us if we allow ourselves the opportunity to let go of what's holding us back from trusting that and listen. So we're like these big, I'm seeing these radar discs. Somebody mentioned it the other day in the desert, just collecting information. Collecting information. They don't even know what they're collecting. So are we. We're collecting information right now from all the sources that we are capable of opening to. The problem is that our openings are very small. The openings to receive through these radar screens is being cluttered by all of this trauma, all of this pain, all of this suffering that we've done, whether it be in this lifetime only or in previous lifetimes or through our genetic encoding, through our DNA. And it was our ancestors that suffered this. And so now we still carry that energetic pattern of suffering and judgment with us. It doesn't really matter anymore. What the universe is telling us really is this is a new starting point. This place of shutting the world down for whatever reason, it's irrelevant. The place of being shut down from its normal practices is the gift. And we have to start looking at it as a gift. It's a gift and an opportunity for us to deepen our relationships within our hearts, with ourselves, and to learn to forgive ourselves. We look at everybody as everything is coming at us. And that's what we've been taught to look at. That's all we knew as children, because as children, we couldn't comprehend what was happening. We came into this physical body with a memory of something before this that was grander, greater, higher, more spacious, more open, had more light, more love, more peace in it. And we came into these bodies, and the environment we came into kept closing in on us and closing in on us. And whenever we tried to act like our true selves as these amazing beings, somebody or something would say, no, 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 as if not here. You can't do that here. You can't do that here. We have different rules here. You can't be who you are. You can't be your true self. And you can tell in my voice the excitedness, that the energy in me this morning that's coming through. It's very up, it's very powerful, it's very positive. And I can certainly tell you that when I went to bed last night, it wasn't that way at all. But this is the amazing part of life, is that we can change in a matter of hours. And I know that many of you are experiencing that just as I am. We fluctuate between depression, to anxiety, to fear, to joy. And part of this shutting down of the world has created the space for this. What I recognized the other day in a conversation, I think it was last night, was how all the animals along the river here where I live, everything's changed. Now, they don't have a brain like us that says, oh, there's a coronavirus. They're not watching the news. They're not, but they notice the energy of humanity and how there's less human energy out and about in their world. And that offers them the opportunity to enjoy it more. And what I've noticed is there's far more birds in my area. They're much, you probably hear them in the background, they're much happier, they're singing. That when I go to the river, there's more birds on the river, there's more fish jumping in the river. And so in my neighborhood, there's more coyotes, the foxes, which are all, the deer come in the yard every day. And what it's saying is they realize as well that something has changed in the pattern of human behavior, and that has affected them. So again, all life is influenced by this amazing energy. And when we have these negative thoughts and this pain, this trauma, this suffering, whether it be about sickness, or whether it be about oppression, or whether it be about hatred or anger, or just pure frustration, what that does is narrows down our ability to receive the synchronicity and the ability to tap into that higher part of ourselves that we really need to bring forth and forward as we move and have this opportunity to shift the paradigm of humanity. So the second card I pulled this morning is a friend of mine who creates the Kalia Soul Inspiration Message Cards by Kalia. A dear friend Mia, who lives in France. Her card was, and I'm going to move this out of the way, is I don't know if we can get a good picture of that. Okay, it's forgive. It says, I forgive, I release, I am in peace. And look at the beautiful flowers on that. I forgive, I release, and I am in peace. One of these days I'll figure out where the camera is on this. That's another day. We need to laugh. We need to enjoy. And when we don't have forgiveness, when we can't release, and when life crunches in on us, we cannot be at peace or in peace. And so this new day of leaving behind the pain of the past can be every day. It doesn't have to just be today. It can be every day that you wake up. You can open your eyes, and what I always do, because of my death experience, is I always say thank you, because I know where I am. I know that being here for me is a gift. It's an opportunity. It's not just, oh, another day in life. Some days I may feel like that energetically, but consciously I have to remember that this is an amazing place to be, an amazing place to experience what we call living, and that we live beyond this, but not in this physicality that is so rich here on this planet, that it's truly a gift to wake up and be here. And the world around us tells us, it shows us the disaster, it shows us the pain and the suffering. And I've said this before, they do that in order to control us. If you keep prodding cattle or sheep with a poker, they'll move and they'll go wherever you want them to. And that's all we are to many people in this world. We are just a herd of cattle. And they're going to manipulate us to do what they want for them, to enrich their lives in the style and manner that is actually foreign and counterproductive to true life. It's based on greed, it's based on selfishness, and it's built on the power of usurping power and playing what we call God. And they think they're little gods. This has been the source of all of this problem from the beginning, with the choice of separation. So we go back in our history, in our genetic history, we realize that our DNA is now changing. It's opening up to, I'm just going to say, more open and receptive factors that can't be shut down and can't be affected. And as that happens, we need to adapt and change with that, because this is this is part of the changing. This is part of the evolution that we're going through. And I hope I'm not preaching to you. I'm not trying to preach to you. Bless you, Karina. It's lovely to see you here. Wow, that's a shock. I love you, darling. Joni, bless you. Hugo, Karen, Erica, Anita, love you, darling. All of you, I love you all. And I want you to leave behind the pain of the past. And I want you to create that new day full of wondrous things. Each of us uniquely have our own past experiences, okay? And we can dwell on the horror and pain over and over and over again, and it is not going to release. It's only going to release when we come to the realization that it no longer serves anything in my new day. I just want you to think about a new day. Just take it one day at a time. This is a new day. When we get up in the morning, it's a new day. I am a sovereign being. And what can I do with this day? What can I do with this day to not only enrich myself, but to enrich those I encounter? Okay? So there's a purpose in all of this. When we gather and enrich and enlighten ourselves, it spreads. It's like a coronavirus. But instead of putting people in a place where they can't breathe and they have to be hospitalized, what it does is it opens their hearts like the lotus flower. Right out of the muck and mud of their lives, the flower blossoms. And in that blossoming, they really begin to see some light. And they realize how powerful and beautiful the light is and how important it is for them that even though they're stuck in the mud, they can be full of vibrant energy, and they can have a positive effect on all those who look upon them. So it's just being seen at this point right now. It's just being seen as those people who are embracing this new day, this new energy. And we don't have it figured out, and we don't have to figure it out. And that's the message this morning. All you need to do is get rid of the old stuff or put it elsewhere, out of your head, somewhere else. Store it in Mars. Send it to Mars if you want. Get rid of it. Let it go. It doesn't matter. It will dissipate. It will dissipate into the universe. Because the only thing that's holding it here now is those who want control, those who are in control, and the rest of us who are these free spirits. And I've always been free spirits, are rising in the light and love to be exactly that. Not as a war, not as a struggle, just to express and experience the glory of our true beingness here in this third dimensional journey we call human life. Exactly. Stop trying to figure it out and make sure the best. Figuring it out is here. The heart doesn't figure out anything. The heart doesn't need to figure it out. The heart is already in alignment. The key now is to keep that heart center open. And everything in the world wants you to shut it down. And it will. It will fluctuate. I say this, it's like the retina of your eye. If the pain gets too intense, you're going to squint. You're not going to want to see the light's too bright. You're going to squint. This is what it does. It shuts down your heart. When you shut down your heart, what that does is shuts down the vibration of the energy of love around the world. That's how powerful you are. We have been taught to think that we're just this tiny little one person in 8 billion people. Well, you've got 8 billion hearts. And if you can open up a few of those, you're going to shift and change everything in the world, no matter how hard people try with their minds to control it. The heart. The mind can die. But when the heart dies, you die. And I experienced death, and I share that. I died, but the mind had nothing to do with it. The heart stayed alive. The mind died. The mind has been rewired to come back here. What did that take? What did that take? That took peace, that took light, and that took love. And I don't recommend my journey for anybody. And there are people on this call with me who have experienced death experiences, and I know you have. Honor that presence in your life, that gift that you have come back to be who you truly are in this moment. And there's 3 statements. I'm going to check time for a second here. Okay. 3 statements from Mia's card. I forgive, I release, and I am in peace. Use those or similar words to redirect your energy in your body. Okay? So when we enter this new day, which can be every day, no matter what's going on around us, all we have to remember is that the keys are forgiveness, releasing, and being in peace. Aspects of that you can create or co-create in any shape, manner, and form. But if we're not in peace, we're not going to forgive or release. If we're not able to release, we won't be in peace. They're all interconnected. And for us to really embrace what's really happening to all life on this planet is we're being given the opportunity to return to our original blueprint. And I still will not be able to explain that. It's far greater than humans can understand. But I do know that it exists and that every day is a new day, that beautiful and amazing moments await us, and we are the ones who will create them. We're not going to create them from a place of selfishness. We're not going to create them from a place of control, because those are the old forms of bondage. And we've all been held in bondage long enough. So take a deep breath and embrace what life would be like. What would life be like if we could all release ourselves from this ancient bondage? This bondage to pain and suffering. Just imagine that. Just touch the tip of that. And then allow your heart to stay open long enough to follow that a little deeper. I promise you that if we keep our hearts open and we follow that path that the open heart shines light on, we will shift everything in a very expedient manner. And that's what we really are doing, even as we suffer, even as we hurt, because it's this little opening right here of your heart. Keep it open. When you feel it closing down, recognize it's closing down and say, no, I'm a sovereign being. This is my heart. This is my energy. I refuse to allow my heart to be shut completely. So you close it down enough to protect yourself. On the minute the danger is gone, open it back up. Be the lotus. Be the lotus that opens and closes to shine its beauty, its light, its wisdom into the world for those who are passing by and may not be in a very good place. But when they see your heart open, they will recognize it. They will recognize it and they will respond. And some of them will respond in anger because it'll remind them that theirs is shut and they won't even consciously know. So when we're attacked by those people, send them love and protect yourself. Don't try to teach them how to open their heart. They're not going to be responsive. That's only going to it's only going to justify their pain and suffering more. And when you start to see this pattern in humanity, and you can pull yourself out of that energy field and back into the greater whole flower of life energy pattern of all of life throughout the universe, we realize that it's we who are the powerful. It is we who are the gifted. It is we who, in alignment with all that is, regardless of how you name it, worship it, think of it, it's alive and living in you and through you. So I'm going to end with a card from the Course in Miracles, which I taught 28 years ago, or whatever it was, a long time ago. I still love to pick it up and read its messages. And I'm going to change the words to make it a less masculine, because it was written in the masculine as all writings were at that time. But the message is the healing of God's children is all the world is for. That is the only purpose the Holy Spirit sees in it, and thus the only one it has. So if the purpose is healing, let's heal together. Let's recognize our illness and know that pharmaceutical companies are not going to save us. Governments are not going to save us. Preachers in the pulpits are not going to save us. Gurus are not going to save us. Healers are not going to save us. We are the saviors of that which we call our soul, or source of unconditional love. And together, we are all of that. I love you, I thank you, I respect you. Whether you agree with me or not, the gift of being able to speak to you is really to just make you think differently. That's all. I want you to have that argument within yourself and find the truth in you. The truth within me is within me. But when we all find that truth in our hearts and join hands, the new day will be the new forever. I am complete. I'm whole. I want to thank each and every one of you. Out of the Body Ignite Body Experiences. Yes, bless you all. I will read these as I retire and send you love. I want to thank you all for showing up, for being willing to experience a new day, and know that each one of you are a gift, not just to me, but to everybody in the world. And all I can ask is that all of us, including myself, live up to that thought of being a gift to others. Y'all have a great week. And just remember, every day is a new day. And I'm going to try to remember that too. Bless you all. I love you. Thank you. Enjoy wherever you are. I love you all. Bye-bye. I can never figure out how to close this, but that's okay. Somewhere there's an exit. End live video. There it is. And I laugh and I give you my blessings. May peace be within your hearts forever. Bye-bye.